Just a footnote to this part 2 of the K1600GT, by the way. I was just reviewing the video parts leading up to this end here, and I realized I called this a K1300. It's a 1600. It superseded the 1300, which superseded the 1200. Okay. This bike it's important to realize in this final comparison, or I guess closing notes on this comparison, when I compare this bike against the RT, it's important, if you're considering buying one of the two of them, that you realize that the RT has been on the market now for 8 years. And because it's been on the market for 8 years, there's a very strong, vibrant, healthy aftermarket, okay, for the RT, for luggage, for lighting and electrical accessories, for clothing, for everything that you can possibly imagine to farkle up, as they call it, these touring bikes. In other words, add additional customizing accessories, windshields, seats, grips, you name it, they've got it. Airfoils, all sorts of different things for the RT. It's been around for 8 years, and quite honestly, the RT itself has been around for decades. The GT, the 1600 GT in particular, and I know because I've done the research on it, there's not a whole lot out there for it. So if you plan on and you like to accessorize your bike, as it stands here in the summer of 2013, there's not a whole lot out, even though it's in its third year production run, there's not a whole lot out for the K16. So just be aware of that. Additionally, you should know this too. The difference in price between this bike, base price between this bike and the RT is about $3,500 here in Canada. You pay $3,500 more for this bike. When you option this bike up, this GT, when you option it up, it spits on about $30,000. Okay? If you take an RT and option it up, it too takes a jump close to $5,000 with all the various bits and pieces you can add those things on. And so that gap kind of stays the same. And for all the electronic doodads on this baby, the electronic suspension, the GPS, the audio system, all those components are also available on the RT. So fundamentally, you are comparing a lightweight, a physically competent, lightweight touring bike versus a slightly sleeker, significantly more powerful, but heavier touring bike. So it's one or the other. And I think BMW is wise to continue the two lines in tandem. And to be very honest, the RT will outsell this year in and year out. I was told that by the dealer, and I have also done the research online to say that the RT was and continue to be their most successful touring bike in their lineup as far as sales are concerned. And the final note in relation to the RT is that BMW is currently preparing to launch the new version of the RT for 2014. And as I record this, there's been some internet sightings, photographs of heavily camouflaged next generation RTs out there. And if they take the jump in price that the GS took when it went to water cooling, because I'm told the RT will be that new water-cooled boxer, partially water-cooled boxer, if it takes the same jump in price, it's going to be right in line with this again, right in line in the $23,000, $24,000 range. So you're looking at two bikes that are roughly going to be within the same price range of each other. Just two philosophies of touring. There's a traditional, tractor light. I say tractor. It's quirky character boxer engine, but very lightweight bike versus, as I mentioned, the sleeker, more powerful and heavier cruise missile. So it's whatever appeals to you. And one final note on this here, you should be aware that if you take this bike and you option it right up to the max, buy every option, you're going to pay more than you would if you were to buy a GTL, which is the big brother to this one. Fundamentally, they're very similar bikes, but the GTL comes loaded out of the box with very few options available. And it's actually cheaper to buy a GTL, which is loaded up, as opposed to buying one of these in base and then loading it up Okay? You'll actually spend more money on this, believe it or not. And I'm not sure why that is, but it is true. Anyway, take all that and run with it. Those are the facts as they appear to me. And I am very, very impressed, and that's my closing comments. And so impressed, I'm considering buying this bike. I'm going to take it out again a little bit more tonight and tomorrow, and have to return it. And who knows? Anyway, very good. If you do have any specific questions regarding measurements or weights or anything that I can give you, don't hesitate to ask or post a question under the video, and I'll do my best to oblige. Take care.